scatters when you play the beat. A brainiac, in fact, son.
Now press rewind.
Welcome to Brainsqueezereactions with South Park. Actor, what reacted to now? P. Diddy. Can you hear me from Cape Verde, mate? Because I know that you're quite far away. And I know that you just happened to go on holiday when everything was kicking off. Wasn't that fucking fortunate that you was able to escape just in time before the feds came banging on both your fucking doors, but you left all your boys behind? What a fucking Diddy move that is. A Diddy move where I'll run and I ain't taking people with me. It's you fucking all over, mate. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says, man. I was saying, well, no, that's a lie. Let me retract that. There was myself and a lot of people saying about the fucking animal that this dude was. And I had to sit, even as recently as just before everything started taking place, around the raids that were taking place, I was on Facebook and there was an individual that was backing this dude up in Facebook. There's still fucking morons that back this fucking pedo allegedly up. This woman beating piece of shit. This dude that within a heartbeat can say goodbye to all his mates, leave them behind in the shithouse so that he can fucking go to Cape Verde where you can't be extradited. Out of all the holiday destinations you pick one that they can't get you in. But you left everybody else behind. We saw them being arrested. Fucking hell. If you're new to Brainsqueezereactions, man, ADHD up the wazoo. I talk a lot, swear a lot, and I generally don't give a fuck a lot, and I'm giving my opinion a lot. I've just picked a random video so that we can talk about it. It says 7 shocking details in the Sean Combs trafficking investigation. So I'll play this in just a second and we can talk about some of that. But I want to talk about this animal. I want to talk about it because it needs to be fucking said. And I know others are saying it, but they're so light touched around it. It's all around, oh, I have what to say. Fuck being careful, man. We're beyond that. If this dude has all these allegations against him and he's paying people off left, right, and center, straight away that rings alarm bells. That chick that he was with that went for an absolute battering. This other dude that's just come up around being forced to have intercourse with people. I don't know the truth behind the video that's been seen. They're saying that's not him, but then there's loads of other allegations. But now we're talking about sex trafficking. We're talking children included in that as well. There's so many allegations going against him. Now, if you were, what's the word I'm looking for? Innocent. If you were innocent and honest, it's like the fucking Johnny Depp situation. That dude took it. He knew what the public was like. And he's like, no, I know what I've done and what I haven't done. I'm not perfect in any way. I've made mistakes. So I'm going to fucking take that on the chin. But I'm fighting my corner. And we got to see the dark side of that fucking, who wound up snorting cocaine on the fucking stand. I forgot her name now. No one gives a fuck about her anyway. Aquaman should just fucking drown the bitch. Just pull her backwards. If she's got gills in it, they can't go backwards. So the fucking, that's how you choke them out. That's how you choke out a fish. Aquaman should have just done that. Just fucking tugged on her feet and just walked her backwards for a minute. I'm pretty certain that's how you drown a fish. But I don't know. That's a weird fucking bit of data to have. You didn't get that from fucking David Attenborough. That'd be a different series on fucking Animal Planet. But speaking of animals, going back to this bellend. And you've got to look at his association. The only other person that I've heard mentioning him out of a respect level was Benzino. And even then he was fucking pissed when he was talking about it, was mentioning his name as some sort of celebration. This dude is an absolute piece of crap. 50 Cent is destroying you, mate. It's destroying you. But even then, comment section, 1 or 2 people going, you're only mad 50 because he did something you missed this before. You are missing the entire point. This fucking dude has just shown his true colors, where he has ditched his entire organization, people included, and fucked off to Cape Verde, then has the audacity, as far as I'm aware of what I've seen, posting videos of himself getting his hair cut, whilst on your private jet, flying away like a fucking coward. If you are innocent, you would have stayed put and gone, okay, arrest me. I'll have my conversations. I've got nothing to hide. I'm going to speak to everybody. Show them, yep, no worries. Help yourself to my fucking internet search. Watch out for a couple of weird shit. I'm allowed to have that. It's called being fucking male. But if you're doing something weird to a point where it's illegal, you don't fucking fly off somewhere, mate. It's an absolute joke, and I'm glad. Tupac's pissing himself, bruv. Tupac said, Machiavelli, I'm coming for you, mate. He said he's coming for you, and I said it once, I'll say it again. He didn't say how he was coming back, man. But there's fucking something going on at this moment in time. But anyway, let's fucking watch this and see if there's any more information and just see how they explain this dude. But I'm sick of his fucking face. R. Kelly's keeping a bed warm for you, mate. Okay? You're definitely taking bottom bunk, mate. You ain't going top, bruv. You think you're top. And that was the discussion as well. Someone was saying about Diddy built an empire. You're only as good as your foundation that you build upon. And they were attacking Eminem and saying like Shady is weaker than P. Diddy. P. Diddy is a bigger artist that built an empire. No, you're only as good as your fucking foundation. If someone can rock that core and your castle still fucking stands, okay, then you know that's truth. That's your Eminem. I'm telling you now, man, that dude built a foundation. No matter what shit's being thrown at him, he fucking stands strong. And that album that's about to come out is gonna fucking melt the internet, regardless of Benzino, MGK, Eminem haters, everyone saying this. His Spotify numbers will fucking quadruple into new numerical figures we've never even fucking heard about. Whereas Bellend over here, I've only just found out, has recently released an album called, ironically, Love. And no fucker fucking listened to it. I didn't even know it existed. I'm tempted to go and listen just for a fucking laugh. So it shows the difference, and now his foundation's been rocked. And look at him. Fucking crumbling around you, mate. Crumbling around. Fucking bellend. Anyways, let's get through this, man. Who's star, man? Who's star? Anyways, comment section is for love, it's not for hate. Hate is go fuck oneself. Not now.
The singer, whose latest album is called Love, is getting a lot of hate right now. This after federal authorities have raided 2 properties linked to him, one on each coast. Sean Combs appears to be part of an investigation into a sex trafficking operation. And of course, this comes as he faces multiple lawsuits that accuse him of assault and abuse, and he denies it all. We're bringing you the latest details to drop in connection with Diddy and the massive investigation.
He denied everything else, but he denied it after paying people off, and then started saying it's a fucking witch hunt. It's not a witch hunt when you're paying people off, you fucking idiot. Okay? That's not a witch hunt. That screams guilt. That's a guilty hunt because you're fucking guilty. I would replace the H for a C because that is absolutely perfection to the type of bellend that you are. Okay? It's a guilty hunt with a C. You're a guilty hunt.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So we have been focusing very heavily on the Sean Diddy Combs story. I mean, what's interesting about this is we actually were focusing on it, 3-4 weeks ago. I did a very big sidebar on it where I broke down all of the latest lawsuits facing the rapper, the mogul, the reported billionaire. And at the time, we were really highlighting one of the big lawsuits that he was facing. A producer named Little Rod Jones had sued him for sexual harassment, sexual assault, was alleging absolutely horrendous things against him. And this is on the heels of other lawsuits. Remember, Cassie Ventura had filed a lawsuit against him. She settled the day after, but she accused him of rape and human trafficking. I mean, the worst stuff you can imagine.
Yeah, the stuff.
And then all of a sudden you fast forward, and this week you see Diddy's name throughout the whole news. Why? Because federal agents raided properties that were connected to the rapper this past Monday. And it was reported that this is all in connection to an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Now, to be clear, it has not been 100% confirmed by authorities if Combs is a target or subject of the investigation. Certain outlets are reporting that Combs is the target. What do I mean by that? Target is essentially the person that prosecutors have evidence against. They're the one they're building a criminal case against. So if he's the target of the investigation, that is a very big deal.
Of course
it is being reported that the search was pursuant to a search warrant issued through the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. Need probable cause that a crime has been committed, gathering evidence in connection of that. And clearly, a federal judge signed off on this in order for these properties to be raided. And who were they raided by? Homeland Security carried out the raid. Homeland Security focuses on human trafficking investigations, among other things. Now, NBC News reported that several people have been interviewed by federal authorities in connection to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, solicitation, distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. This is so eerily reminiscent and consistent with the allegations from all of these high-profile lawsuits that I mentioned that were filed against Combs, his family, his businesses, his associates.
This dude is a fucking animal, isn't he? He's a fucking animal. We're not even getting into the nitty gritties of this. We're not even getting to it, and already, just look at it. You're a mess, mate. And then we saw him on the fucking that radio show with his off his tit talking about Mace. Mace knew what he was talking about regarding receipts. He knew all the shit you were doing. Why he didn't speak out before that, I'm not too sure about, but I know he's gone religious, isn't he, mate? Or he went religious, and that maybe it was. I don't know. The Cassie situation, man. That's what abuse does to people. I hated the fact when people are like, "Why talk now? Why talk now?" You know nothing about what abuse is about. You know nothing, and I do. I do know what that is. And you don't just talk out. You don't suddenly go, I'm going to say something because I need the money. It isn't like that. You're talking about fear. I coach people, and recently I've had people that are going through that, and it's genuine fear when an individual or individuals' behaviors are present. They can't do anything. It's almost like it's psychological fucked in their mind that they're in danger, but it's fear, and that's what they fucking thrive off, is fear, so that they can cripple someone to such a degree that they live their life in this depression and fear status, which is a fight and flight mechanic. And it doesn't mean that they're able to fight. It means their fight and flight is in a negative world of self, where they start self-blaming, so that even when they escape or get out of that situation, they just want to forget it, or they spend the next fucking decade blaming self. So that's an internal dialogue that they're having for a long fucking period before they talk to the right person. The right person when they can open up, who has that logic and says, you need to say something. Or they support them to be able to say something. It takes time. You don't just suddenly go, I was abused. Anyone that starts doing that in a heartbeat had something planned. There was a vendetta there. It's not realistic. There's just an argument that's blown out of proportion, and they're just throwing that term around willy-nilly. When you talk about actual psychological traumatic events, that's some war-ridden shit that sticks with people for years, and they need therapy and support. That's what trauma is. It was so frustrating, and I still read some of it now that try pulling Cassie's name through the mud. And you're a fucking embarrassment. You're an embarrassment. Your fucking parents failed you. They failed you as much as Diddy's did. And you should fucking look at yourself in the mirror when you're typing that shit, because you're the reason why Diddy fucking gets away with shit. People like you. That
I mentioned that were filed against Combs, his family, his businesses, his associates, sex trafficking, sexual harassment, sexual assault. It was a wild scene, though, at these properties. You saw agents swarming onto the properties, sometimes with guns drawn. We saw video of several individuals, including who appear to be Combs' sons, Justin and King, in handcuffs. Now, it seems like they were detained, not arrested. And at the time of this recording, it is not clear where Sean Combs is. There's been mixed reporting about his jet, his location. We don't really know. But what we do know is that at the time of this recording, neither he nor anyone else has been arrested or charged or indicted in connection with this operation.
Because they can't.
There are some updates, though, and those updates are what we want to talk about. So first up, there was this idea, as I mentioned, this probable cause, the search warrant signed by a judge. That's a very big deal. And we still don't know what exactly they're looking for. When you talk about sex trafficking, human trafficking, you're talking about bringing people across state lines for sexual activities, for commercial profit. Commercial sex acts is another way to say it. And so what they might be looking at, you might be looking at documents, you might be looking at computers, electronic devices. One of the things that stands out to me when I think about one of these prior lawsuits, Little Rod Jones, this producer, he alleged that Sean Combs has cameras in all of his homes, and these cameras captured a lot of this illicit behavior as a form of blackmail. So was it possible they were looking at the camera systems? We just don't know. But one of the big updates that I have to talk about is this statement from Combs' attorney, Aaron Dyer. This statement reads, and it was from yesterday. It says, quote, "Yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities.
Bollocks.
Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits.
What, the same ones that he paid out on? Is that what you're referring to, mate? The ones that he paid out on in a fucking night, was very quick to pay those out. Where the fuck was she going to start spilling? I hate fucking attorneys. I hate lawyers like this. It's slimy. This is just press shit. We've seen it all the time. We've seen it all the fucking time. Where a celebrity goes, I can't believe the allegations. I can't believe what's happened. It's a swift injustice. Then it comes out that they've been fucking sexually abusing people. And then they go, yeah, I'll just go to prison now. It's fucking dirty. It's the R. Kelly situation all over again, where you know he was pissing on people and doing whatever the fuck it was that he was doing. You know that was taking place. But then he was saying, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. No, you're not. You're going to jail. You know, bye-bye. You're going to, that's it. Bye-bye. Enjoy your fucking time behind bars, mate. There's plenty of occasions where this has happened. And it's these slimy fucking things. Why did he run then? Why did he go? We would have seen him being detained like his fucking family was. He would have been seen being detained. He is not fucking helping authorities. His attorney is doing that. His attorney's doing all the discussions. I bet he's doing fuck all. He isn't even fucking engaging in there. If you was, mate, come out in the general eye, get taken and detained by police, show your face, walk into a police station, do what you need to do, and walk out a free man. Only then I will eat my own words. If it needs to go to court and your attorney finds a slimy way and a loophole to get you out, you ain't getting past this, mate. We're all looking at you going, you're full of shit. You think you got away with the Tupac situation? Eminem reminded you of that one that we ain't forgotten. And now you're in this shit. At one point, I mean, fucking the Joker said it the best. The Batman, The Dark Knight is the most unrecognized. People say it's a good film, but there's so many quotes in it. It's so realistic to life. From Michael Caine, when he says about people want to see the world burn. But then Joker talks about a squealer. The Joker talks about the type of individual that would drop you in a heartbeat to try and save own skin. That is the epitome of a squealer right here. He would do anything to stay out of prison. The last time we saw that was old Takeshi 6ix9ine fucking Rainbow My Little Pony bollocks heads, who's got fat, by the way. Fuck me, he put on some pounds, didn't he? Fucking hell, I saw him dishing out money, mate. You should be fucking paying for gym membership. Nothing wrong with those putting on pounds. I find them sexy. I was just saying that dude is not sexy. That's just eating too much. Okay? That's not putting on some curves. That's some fucking straight to the gut situation taking place there. Plus he's a fucking pony. But right here you've got the epitome of a fucking squealer. Diddy's name has always been that informant motherfucker, allegedly. I'm just throwing it in there so I don't get sued. But there's a massive issue here, because if he gets away with it, if he gets away with this, then I give up, man. Then money is the answer to everything. We say money isn't power, man. And you know, there's times we think love rules all. If this fucker can release an album called Love and pay himself out of this situation, I give up, man. I fucking give up on the human race. Because how many times does this dude have to be pulled through the mud over a period of 2-3 decades before someone picks up on the fact that this dude is an absolute rat? Just a rat in general.
There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. A lot of things to break down from this one. Number one, yes, he hasn't currently been charged with anything. The civil cases, one settled, the other ones are still ongoing, so he has not been found liable. That is all true. That could change. Is it premature to call this a witch hunt? Possibly. One of the things that I've noted is that you could say it's unique that indictments, arrests have not come in conjunction with a massive raid like this. Sometimes, usually they do, but other times they don't. You need to build a case. And you hear this idea about perhaps that federal authorities have spoken with a number of individuals that might have given them probable cause to then go for the search warrant to find more information. We've interviewed Tracy Walder, former FBI CIA agent, who said that
this dude's smart.
You go onto these properties, this raid, one of the things you needed to do was to actually retain evidence, make sure it's not destroyed. Perhaps authorities were tipped off that evidence was about to be destroyed. Not clear. But the idea of this military level force I thought was so interesting because we have to remember, again, going back to the lawsuits, again, these are lawsuits, these are allegations, different standard. We're not talking about a criminal case, but when we talk about that and we look at the allegations in these lawsuits, there has been allegations of firearms possession, that Diddy forced his associates to carry weapons for him. There was a shooting that was referenced, 2 shootings. Let me rephrase, 2 shootings were referenced in that Little Rod Jones lawsuit where Diddy engaged in this or allegedly engaged in this and then had people cover up for him. So with those thoughts in mind, and you're looking at how big these properties are, it is not surprising that you see this level of force. Authorities don't know what they're going into, and they have to detain people, bring them outside, not only for their safety, but for the safety of the people they detained as well as they're going into these properties. So the level of military force, you could argue, was justified. I mentioned that these electronics were seized. We don't know what the contents of them are. We don't know exactly what they're looking for, but that digital footprint, as we've covered in a number of cases, can be quite substantial. And ABC has reported that agents seized a number of electronic devices. There's a lot of legal issues surrounding the Diddy case. Makes you think about how important it is to have a great lawyer, right? Well, that is especially true in personal injury cases, which can be very, very tough to navigate. But enter Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of us here on Sidebar. You know why they're so big? Because they win a lot. They are all about fighting for the compensation their clients deserve, even if that means having to take a case to trial. And they have secured multi-million-dollar verdicts all across the country. I
gotta say, man, that was smooth as shit how that was brought in. I'm loving his dude, man. Jesse's the one. He's got a smooth voice. I want to go to sleep as he's talking. Not because he's boring. I want to go to sleep because he's fucking relaxing. But that was a fucking segue and a half, man. I almost feel like I want to fucking phone up Morgan & Morgan and just, nothing's wrong with me, but just to go, what's up? I'm phoning because Jesse's told me to.
Recently,
I feel like I want to fall over and just have a claim. I'm not going to do that.
$26 million in Philadelphia. That was higher than the highest insurance offer in that case, by the way. And when I say that, sometimes insurance companies, they lowball offers, but Morgan & Morgan, they don't settle for that. You need a big firm to take on these big companies. But also there's something else that I always want to highlight when it comes to Morgan & Morgan. And that is that they have completely modernized the process to make it so easy for their clients. You submit your claim, you upload documents, you sign contracts, you talk to your whole legal team, all from your smartphone. That's it. Seeing if you have a case only takes a few minutes. Also, I should tell you with Morgan & Morgan, there's no upfront fee. Yeah, you only pay them if you win. Maybe not surprising that over 3 million people contact them every year. But look, if you're injured, you can start by easily submitting a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar or by dialing pound law. That's pound 529 on your phone. Now, there's another update we want to talk about. I mentioned how there's been no arrests or indictments. Yes, in connection with the sex trafficking investigation. However, there was an arrest of a man named Brendan Paul, someone who is alleged to be Combs' drug mule. Alleged that he supplied him with these illicit substances. This is, I believe, an allegation in the Little Rod Jones lawsuit. Well, he was arrested for cocaine and marijuana possession out in Florida, I believe at the airport. He has been bailed out. Just a little interesting detail about that. Now, his attorney, Brian Bieber, issued his statement to CNN. The statement says, quote, "We do not plan on trying this case in the media. All issues will be dealt with in court." Interesting. Also want to talk about the arrests here. So again,
Jesse, I like how you do business, man. That was enough. I don't want to pause on that. That's unfair. Because you look like you was fucking tripping off that dude. Not now, but that little fucking nugget there saying we don't want to talk to the media. Everything will be tried in court. What the fuck is that dude saying? And how much is he being paid by Diddy as well? There's so much going on, Jesse, and you fucking know. You're clever. I like the way you word things. I just say it, so I'm going to prison. But you will dodge that bullet. Well done, mate. Well done.
There's been no arrest, but there could have been false speculation. There could have been rumors that Diddy's sons, Justin and King, were arrested. They were handcuffed outside of the LA property during the raid. No indication they were arrested. TMZ actually reported that they came back to the home to move things out. When we first saw the images of this, I was reminded that his son, one of his sons, was implicated in wrongdoing in a lot of these illicit acts by Little Rod Jones in that lawsuit. That one of his sons was involved in a shooting at a music studio, that his son was present during a party where minor underage women were present. So when I first saw...
What do you mean minor underage women? That's just minors, mate. No, Jesse, don't lose me on that, man. Don't lose me on that. It might be just the wording, but I didn't like that. If they're minors, they're minors. Not underage women if it's a minor. It's a child, okay? That is a child. You don't say underage women. It is a minor or a child.
Music studio, that his son was present during a party where minor underage women were present. So when I first saw the images of them in handcuffs, you could make the mental leap that they were possibly arrested, but that is not the case. They were just detained. Now, I also want to highlight something that was a little disturbing. So when this happened, this raid happened, apparently some guy shows up outside of the raid in L.A., claims to be Diddy's neighbor, tells reporters that he was noticing some shady things going down with Diddy, said he saw some wild things at night. It was reported on, it was amplified, it was circulated around. Turns out that may not even be true, that he may not even be a neighbor. I have to highlight this. When we're talking about a high-profile person like Diddy, okay, rumors, speculation, misinformation is going to happen. And we have to be careful of that. We have to be mindful of that. And in a legal point of view, when you talk about Diddy and his cases, one of the things he has said in the past about all of these lawsuits is that it's a chain reaction. One person comes out, another person comes out, another person comes out. It's a money grab. They're making things up. That could very well be true, but it could also be that they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
So we have to always keep a mindful eye about people's motivations and why they're going to be coming out during this time. Let's always remember that. And talking about that, let's talk about the celebrity reaction. So there are some celebrities who have made comments about this raid, including Cassie Ventura, whose lawsuit really blew open the whole thing for the public. She accused Combs, as I said, for years of abuse, assault, rape, trafficking. The events she described in her lawsuit were horrific. And one day after she filed it, Combs settled. Those details were confidential. But Douglas Wigdor, who represents Ms. Ventura, as well as a Jane Doe that filed claims against Combs, said in a statement, quote, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. Even when you settle a case, those individuals could still cooperate with law enforcement."
Whoa,
and
nice.
I got the impression that after the Ventura settlement, it was never absolving Combs of wrongdoing. So let's be clear of that.
Yeah.
There are others who have had beef
Cassie.
with Sean Combs in the past. He has a long-standing public feud with fellow rapper 50 Cent.
Go on, bro.
Who after the raid posted on Instagram, "Now it's not Diddy Do It, it's Diddy Done." That seems to be in reference to a documentary series that he's trying to put forward, the Diddy Do It. But he goes, "It's Diddy Done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." Since then, he's posted several memes mocking Diddy's legal troubles. He also said Diddy was, quote, "too freaky for society." And then we have Aubrey O'Day. She also commented on the raids. Now, Combs helped launch her music career in the early 2000s on his reality show Making the Band 3. She joined a group that became known as Danity Kane. But in later seasons of the show, O'Day was dismissed from the group, with Combs saying, quote, "She wasn't the same person he signed. That fame had changed her." But in a podcast in 2022, O'Day revealed that she was fired because, quote, "she wasn't willing to do what was expected of her, not talent-wise, but in other areas."
Go on.
Well, after the raids on Combs' home, O'Day posted, quote, "What you sow, you shall reap. I pray this emboldens all of us victims to finally speak on what we have endured."
Oh, that's fucking
is quite a
gifted.
statement.
Oh, what
All
a way
right,
to end
so
that.
those are some developments.
Fucking
We will
Jess.
continue to follow what happens in the Sean Diddy Combs case. Stay with us here on Sidebar.
I'm
We'll always have a
gonna.
lot more for you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jesse Weber. Until next time.
Make sure you go give Jesse a fucking sub, man. I'm going to do that in a minute. I kind of like this dude. I like the way he does business, okay? Like I said, he's not going to jail. I am, for what I'm saying. And that ending from Aubrey. She needs less makeup, man. She looks very pretty. She doesn't need to fucking slap that shit on, man. But who am I to judge? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I always get pulled up on shit like that, man. You know, I've mentioned fucking Takeshi 69 putting on weight. Fucking hell, that means I'm going to be fat shaming. That was the last thing, wasn't it? What did I say? Beyonce's fat ass always has to be in front of us to sell her fucking country music. And someone took that as a literal that I hate anyone that's overweight. And I went, what? What are you talking about? I didn't fucking say that. I was just implying as a colloquialism that I don't need to be seeing that when you're selling records. But anyways, back to this point with what this individual's talking about. I love the fact that he ended on that. This man knows shit. This man is being very careful with what he's saying, but clearly he knows what he's talking about. And the fact that he saved all this last bit till the end, saying about all these people, Cassie, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? You know you've got to say some stuff. That Aubrey lady, fucking get in there. And I love the fact that she was a driving force to say us. So she knows that it wasn't just her. On that making the band, there clearly was more than only one person there. This is going to be something that blows up. It's 20 years too late, but I'll take it. If in the lifetime of me being on this planet, I got to witness Pink Floyd, Tupac Shakur, and everything else in between from a music level and from a feelings, culture, education situation taking place, and the demise of Diddy, then I'm fucking set. I'm done. Because that means that finally justice is good, so I can sleep for eternity, but I'll sleep better, okay? And it means I get to see Tupac. Diddy, you're seeing Epstein. He's probably your fucking late cousin anyway, but, you know, you'll be seeing him soon, man. And that's a lie. R. Kelly first. And who's the other dude that's been taken? What the fuck's his name? The one, Keefy D. Keefy D and R. Kelly, man. They're all waiting for you, Diddy. Your crew is waiting to unite. Maybe you can make like a boy band. Making the band, you know, in jail. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? To see if you can hit a high note. You'll probably enjoy that thinking about it. Don't go in the showers, for fuck's sake. Oh, knowing you, you'll be in them every fucking day.